preseason game. This is the dress rehearsal game where they kind of, give you some real looks, some real guys out there on the court.
Put respect on Yuki, because bro, he is legitimately like, if you post a Yuki highlight now, oh, it's going.
Oh yeah,
crazy.
Oh yeah.
Remember when you were a kid dreaming of being the next basketball superstar, but then someone told you you were too short? Well, Yuki Kawamura is living proof that height doesn't measure heart or skill. This 5'8" baller is out here making plays that would make even LeBron James do a double take. His no-look passes are so good they'll make you question everything you thought you knew about basketball. Ready to have your mind blown? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Do you recall the athletes that never fail to surprise you? My name is Yuki. When a 5'8" man walks into the court, everyone is confused and asks, what on earth is this kid doing here? But as Yuki starts to move, as though he had rocket boosters in his sneakers, everything changes. The defense is completely ignoring this individual as if they don't exist. How ridiculous. He quickly moves from being on top of the key to placing it underneath the hoop. What could be more ridiculous? Yuki's amazing vertical leap will wow you. We are discussing NBA level dribbles.
Talk about this before, but smaller guards gotta be able to shoot the ball. If we're gonna compromise something on defense, I'm gonna need you to be as close to perfect on offense as possible.
Yuki definitely stole the show today. He's a joy to be around. He's a character.
He's full of energy. He's got, bubbling personality.
You would think he was jumping incredibly high if he weren't on a trampoline. The true killer, however, is his departure. The only way to believe it is to see it, as he skillfully threads the ball between opponents, hits teammates mid-stride, and more. Yuki's passing abilities seem to defy the rules of physics. Every player on the court appears to have a GPS tracker linked to them. Furthermore, Yuki isn't just successful when she competes with other short players. She does it consistently. He faces males who are significantly taller than him. Players that are 6'6" or 6'8" seem huge in comparison to him. What about Yuki then? He doesn't appear afraid. He acts as though he is taller than everyone else when playing the game. Do you want to listen to anything crazy? Yuki had 15 assists in his final game. It's more points than some entire teams managed to score in one game, and he did all that while only turning the ball over twice. Coaches strive for efficiency like that, but statistics are not enough on their own. It's the way Yuki plays. He exudes confidence in a way that you cannot teach him. His style of play is similar to that of a conductor leading an orchestra. He has a remarkable capacity to foresee actions and take advantage of them before they even occur. And while we're talking about swooping in and out, let's talk about Yuki's most incredible talent. If I told you that he's making illogical passes, would you believe me? We're going to analyze a move that has both our opponents and our teammates perplexed. Yuki's signature move is the no-look pass. Therefore, let's learn it. You may have assumed no-look passes aren't new. However, you've never seen them like this before. Yuki is more complex than first meets the eye, bending passes to avoid opponents. He's acting as though he's mentally controlling the ball. Consider this.
Yeah, man, he acting funny, man. He acting real Chris Bosh-ish around here, man.
He done got famous around us, man. He too big for us, man.
Cause it goes crazy. Yuki is a. he also Roger. He
had the man.
He doing the Santi thing. We used to talk about Santi being the heme guy.
Yuki is standing on top of the key with guards surrounding her. His eyes have moved to the left as he observes a co-worker in the far corner. The defense makes adjustments, assuming they have comprehended the play. Suddenly, though, the ball zips past their right ears and lands beneath the hoop, where an unguarded player is waiting. The ball appears to be behaving on its own. These passes are absolutely stunning and disturbingly accurate. Yuki's threading needles would be missed by even the most casual gamer. He's hitting teammates' strides right in their shooting pocket. His teammates frequently look surprised when the ball finally reaches them. However, Yuki's amazing assist to turnover ratio is the most shocking thing. With all these careless passes, you'd think he'd be spitting the ball in all directions. Not at all. He is the most efficient person in the world. He seems to have a supercomputer-like intellect that is always figuring out every angle and every defender's position. How is he going about doing it? Does intuition tell one unrealized potential? But there is in fact more information to take into account. Yuki's best qualities are his basketball acumen and remarkable court vision. In addition to seeing the court, he is able to predict 3 movements in advance. Yuki is playing chess, while the other players are preoccupied with the game of checkers. Think about this. To execute these passes, Yuki must be fully aware of each player's position, where they will be going in the future, and how the defense will respond. After rapidly analyzing all of this information, he is making the best decision. He appears to have a bird's eye perspective of the court despite being in the center of the action. On the surface, Yuki's vision would appear to be his only characteristic that sets him apart. But what if I told you that despite his smaller size, he has all the abilities of a renowned NBA player?
Stars, but there seems to be a new fan favorite emerging.
Shout out. So he's Japanese J. Will?
That's what we could call him.
Japanese J. Will.
The Japanese J. Will.
I like that. I like stamp that.
Get ready for a surprising demonstration of LeBron-like skills. I would like to discuss Yuki's adaptability. His death may have been apparent to you, but it is only the beginning. This man will dazzle you with his moves. Please consider LeBron James. Decrease his height to 5 the Y. My name is Yuki. You probably think, there's no way a guy that short can play like LeBron. But Yuki is here to show everyone how wrong they were. He can predict plays and shares the other guy's court vision. He seems to have a sixth sense on the court. Things are getting hotter now, as Yuki is doing a fantastic job finishing near the rim. Whether you utilize your left or right hand is what counts. He is charging high toward the finish, after gliding past opponents as if they were still. He's competing against men that are at least a foot taller than him, so pay attention. Now pay attention. Are you aware of LeBron's talent for defense analysis? This is what Yuki is doing as well. He is meticulously anticipating every move, switch, and assist defender. He appears to be well versed in both teams' plays. But what's most amazing is that Yuki is only 5'8" tall while she performs all of this. Whoa, that's a foot shorter than LeBron. Imagine how much harder it must be to see past opponents at that height. It seems easy to Yuki, however. But there are other factors than height. The same great basketball IQ that LeBron exploits is also there in Yuki. He is not only good at the game, but he also prepares ahead of time. You can almost see the wheels turning in his brain as he prepares a play. Let's talk about adaptation now.
This team and what they could do this upcoming season, and that was evident here today with the entire lower level of FedEx Forum.
Yuki Kawamura. Obviously, he's hit the news wire today, and he just signed a 2-way with the Memphis Grizzlies after the NBA.
Like LeBron, Yuki is adaptable. He is physically strong enough to take on big men in the paint, nimble enough to defend point guards, and astute enough to play wing. He appears to have an answer for every defense tactic. But what really sets Yuki apart is how fast he is. He has an advantage in speed and agility due to his short stature. As he switches between screens and alters his direction at the drop of a hat, his size is working in his favor. The defenders struggle to put together what happened to him as they gulp for air. Yuki's court illusions are indeed breathtaking, but what if anything other than his innate skills is responsible for his success? This is where it gets really confusing. Could Yuki be on the verge of changing the way we think about basketball? Let's talk about how Yuki's accomplishment is upending the basketball world. Scouts have long been obsessed with size. They always look for the next 7-footer and have an exaggerated sense of their own importance. What about Yuki then? Right now he's in the middle of flipping that script. I consider this. A player who is only 5'8" tall can outmaneuver men who are at least a foot higher. This is similar to seeing David confront and vanquish Goliath.
I think he's probably going to be here very soon. If not opening night, probably in the next week or so.
I would say, I think it's going to be out there opening night only because of media day.
When he get to the rim, he getting the assist. Because the mark got to step over. He's dropping it off to the big.
On all occasions, these giants are being absolutely crushed by Yuki, who isn't just keeping up, as he skillfully maneuvers through arm trees, finds odd angles, and executes plays that confound everyone. All eyes are on him. Additionally, Yuki's defensive statistics are completely absurd. You would think that a shorter player would have more difficulties on defense. That's not right. Yuki is winning the ball against these big guys one after another. He appears to be naturally gifted in predicting the ball's path. He disrupts plays, picks pockets, and anticipates passes like a basketball ninja. The weird part is that Yuki's impact goes well beyond the numbers. His influence is inspiring a new generation of shorter players, kids who might have heard the idea that they're too short to play hoops. As they observe Yuki, they ask themselves, if he can do it, why can't I? As though he had suddenly shown in a new universe of possibilities. What is completely crazy, Yuki is proving that brains, skill, and speed can level the playing field. He is demonstrating that basketball is more than just height. It's also about quickness, agility, and outsmarting the opposition.